Hi guys, and welcome back to Steelers Fan TV. This is the fourth episode of the vidcast, and this one is going to be about the possibility of the Tilburg team from the Netherlands joining the league, and what that could bring. So, Tilburg are a side from the Netherlands, a side who are a good hockey side because of the current situation that they're having to face. They are currently sat in, I think it is first position in the league that they are in, and they don't actually play in the Netherlands league simply because they're too good for it. They play in the German third league. Now, the German third league is obviously a decent level. Tilburg would not have been even slightly hinted at if they wasn't good enough to join the EIHL. Now, obviously, the EIHL has grown in capabilities over the past few years, and recently has only sort of started to get more and more sort of accepted as a decent league in hockey. Now, obviously, we will push that past that at some stage and become one of the best leagues in hockey. I can guarantee we will at some stage. Now, Tilburg Trappers. I remember the name now. I didn't at the start of the video. Tilburg Trappers are a side who could participate in the league, but they're also a side that probably couldn't participate in the league. And couldn't obviously two going against each other. So why they could, we'll start with that. They're decent enough, and it's only a short trip obviously to England from the Netherlands. They've got a good enough financial capabilities. They've got a big enough stadium, 2,500. Obviously, we would barely be taking any away fans to an away game to Netherlands. And number 4 is the fact that they are quite. I don't know if we're on 3 or 4, but they're a hockey team that I've watched on YouTube, and looking at the style that they play, it would definitely fit the IHL. They're quite rough as well, so they would bring that sort of edge to the game. Now, obviously, you're going to have to look at why they can't join the league. Now, reasons that they can't start with: one, the location. Okay, Netherlands. Obviously, being from the Netherlands, they are quite far away, and also very they're just out there really. They're out of reach of a lot of fans. I mean, closest to them would be probably Guildford or something like that. I'm not very good with my geography, but Guildford might just be like a straight across sort of situation. And obviously, if away fans can't go, then the home fans are barely going to get their revenue. Obviously, the home fans would definitely sell out if they played the first game again in the IHL. I think a lot of people would actually go to the game, and that would obviously be good. It'd be a landmark really, because obviously there's never really been a team from another country come and play in the IHL. So it'd be a bit like the KHL in a way, sort of. Obviously that has sort of Russia, Czechoslovakia and places like that playing in that league. Now, that league's obviously quite a big standard, sort of very good, and obviously so is the German league, what the Tilburg Trappers play in. Obviously, Paul Thompson coaches one of the Division 1 teams, so there's obviously a gap between Tilburg and the top league, but they're not allowed into the second league simply because they don't want a side from the Netherlands joining the second league. And obviously we wouldn't have this problem if they were allowed to join, and obviously we wouldn't have sort of the issue of will they join, will they not. And I released an article yesterday, written by one of Steal the Puck members, about the Tilburg Trappers and how it's a problem. And some of the comments were like, well, it was surely over already, they're not going to join. And there is that as well, as they might do. Obviously, if they did, then it would be quite strange seeing an overseas team come and play. And it might be quite daunting for some people as well, like, oh, they're in our league, how are we going to get to the away game for that? And if there's people that go home and away every game and they've kept that with them, then how are they going to pay for a trip to the Netherlands? And that, I think, is a problem as well. While they also can't, will they be up to the standard? Now, obviously, I said I watched them on YouTube. I watched them to prepare for this video, really. I mean, I couldn't remember their name at the start of the video, but I'm obviously prepared now. I watched them on YouTube and seen what they're like. Their passing is pretty excellent. It's very quick, snappy, know where each other are on ice. It's great to watch. Their physicality is also there. I mean, I saw about 6 boarding calls in the 3 videos I watched, and about 6 fights in the 3 videos I watched, and it was quite. It's sort of a contrast of. It looked like how the Steelers were 2 years ago. So, well, 3 years ago actually. We'll go back to when we won the league in 2016. We'll go back to then. So obviously it wasn't as good a standard as it is now. And Tilburg are on similar speed and similar like shooting ability to what we were back then. I think we can all agree on the fact that the league has moved forward and we have started to sort of become a more renowned, well-played league. Now, obviously, the standard of the Tilburg Trappers may also sort of rely on the income as well. If they're having to travel across to England to play all the games, then they're going to have a financial income of an incredible rate. Because if they don't, then they're going to be stuck. They're going to be stuck in like a sandwich, sort of, do we go, do we not? And then they're obviously going to be in the middle there. And then what that could do easily is they probably won't end up coming. But I think if they did, I do think they could end up going bust if they don't have the correct financial capabilities of joining the Elite League. And would they have to relocate possibly? I mean, would they have to come over to England and possibly train at a place? Though we don't have many ice rinks, do we? So that's also a problem. Anyway, moving on from Tilburg, and we're going to move on to the Murrayfield Racers. So obviously the Racers took the place of the Edinburgh Capitals at the end of the 2017-18 season, and it really peed a lot of people off. It really did. It annoyed me as well, because obviously the Murrayfield Racers were all up for joining the Elite League, but they actually got sent down to the EIHL. And obviously what that did is the revenue of the Murrayfield Ice Rink goes down, the costs just go up, and the hockey you're actually watching for the same price as watching the Edinburgh Capitals was certainly that of something much worse. And obviously I watched the video. I've constantly watched videos of the teams playing and how they might join the league. Now Murrayfield Racers weren't really great. They beat a team about 15-2, but the team that they were playing looked like a wreck team, Solway. And what that'd do if Murrayfield joined the league is they'd just take the place of the Edinburgh Capitals. They'd be the whipping boys, they'd be 12th place and they'd be going nowhere. And do we really want that again? Do we want to see people getting absolutely hammered, teams getting demoralised every week? Probably not. Now, if Murrayfield had the right intentions, sort of join the league, spend a lot on players, spend a lot on the rink, spend a lot just in the IHL in general, I'd sort of invest into the IHL. Pay the players, obviously. Obviously, when Edinburgh left the league, there wasn't many players being paid because there was quite a big financial dip in that. And obviously, if Murrayfield did join the league, then there'd have to be the financial capabilities in place straight away and not waiting around. Because if they wait around, then they're just going to end up in 12th spot, just like the rest of the teams. Just like the Edinburgh Capitals. Murrayfield Racers, yes, they are a location that is renowned throughout the league. People have been to Murrayfield Ice Rink. Steelers have won there a lot. Steelers have lost there. You know, it's quite a nice old-fashioned hockey rink with obviously people did slate it, but it did look like a nice rink really on the videos. Looked a bit cold though. Apart from that, I do think that Murrayfield could be a team. They're a potential team to join the league, but at the end of the day, they need to have the financial capabilities to join the league again. And obviously, if they don't have that, then we don't want another situation of a team going bust, because it's upsetting really as an EIHL fan, because you don't want to see teams having to go bust and having to not be able to play the players, and it's frustrating. And obviously, we're down to 11 teams. Now, the last team hinted at to join the league is a team that hasn't really been created yet, Leeds. Now, Leeds, for me, would be great if they join the league, because I'd love that to be a rivalry with the Steelers. Now, Sheffield against Leeds, Nottingham against Coventry, that'd be better. You know, we'd actually have a new rival. At the end of the day, Leeds would bring a lot of fans, because if they built a rink that was good enough for the fans and the size of the city, you've got to think Leeds is a big, big city, and to have a hockey team from there would be great to join the league. Though would they join the EIHL first to get a feel for the game? Possibly. But if they didn't, then obviously it'd open up a spot to Murrayfield and as a long shot Tilburg. Now, all three teams do have capabilities. Obviously Leeds I've never seen play. And there's also been the Hull Pirates hinted at, really. Hull Pirates, obviously, with Jason Hewitt involved in the setup in Hull. That'd be a possibility, but at the end of the day, Hull Pirates are currently in the NIHL, and they just lost out to the Steel Dogs last campaign to win the league. Now, Hull are quite a renowned team, obviously, but then again, you've got to remember, it's just like an Edinburgh-Murrayfield situation. The Stingrays, Hull Stingrays did end up folding and dropping out the league. Now, obviously, that you don't want that to see that happen, but it did happen, and it's just like Manchester last season. Was it Altrincham? I think another side that dropped out. It might have been the season before. Had to drop out the league due to financial capabilities, and it is frustrating to see. And you won't want the Pirates going down the same route as the Stingrays, obviously having to drop out the league, and like the Edinburgh Capitals, who also had to drop out the league last season. Now, it is something to think about for a lot of people, and it is something that you can think like, well, who would you guys want to join the league? So I'm going to ask that question, who would you guys want to join the league? And obviously get involved in any sort of discussion, and anything that you want to sort of say it, because at the end of the day, it just has this debate of who could be the 12th team. Now, obviously, for the last minute or so, I'm just going to talk about, could we drop down to 10 teams? Now, if MK Lightning were to drop out the league, it would take us down to 10 teams. I can't see it happening personally. I think the MK Lightning will get better in the next few seasons. But apart from that, we'll have to wait and see. And that's all I'm going to say on that, because I don't know anymore. Now, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. So, see you later.